We are back on the Mississippi River in Transport Fever 2, and we are going to get back to work up in Beaumont. Let's see where we are. We have the bread run coming from the farm, which needs... Oh, that needs way more trucks. We have nowhere near enough vehicles on this line, but we're still courting with failure, with an imminent failure of doom here. No matter how peppy the music is. Let's put this... Alright, let's see where we go here. Yeah, see, we're losing a lot of time here on this hill until we can get faster vehicles to get out of the New Orleans Bayou. Well, that's the fun of using heat maps and trying to make something. This is going the right way. I thought there was one of these that was backwards and had to be fixed. Is it up here at the farm? No, this one's... You know, I'll bet you it's this stone. How are these cities growing? Mississippi City's getting food. Yes, it is. And the city is... Charts. Wow, it has grown quite a bit. Just from the delivery of a couple of loads of food product. Gulfport is getting no deliveries, but it's connected. So what does the traffic on our destinations look like? So we can connect to Gulfport itself. We have no public transportation here. It's able to connect to Mississippi City and New Orleans. So we are getting some benefit. What are we getting? 10, 20%? Oh yeah, 20% growth bonus. So checking the charts, we started out at 120 and we're up at 154. So city's growing slowly. And how about New Orleans? Just such a devastation that occurred here. This is just, that is going to take a lot of work to reset that city back. Oh man, that is sad. And not in any way planned or thought out for that to happen. It is, I don't know if the city's got to be reset. We'll see what happens when we start shipping goods there and delivering product. We'll see if the city grows back up properly. And if not, we can address it down the road. What is this bend here? We should have fixed that in development. Is this... Nope, this isn't backwards. This is just a one-way in. 803, we have a delivery coming. Yes, we do. This is going to get us to 200 in the hole. 150 in the hole. 206. Alright, where is her sister? Where is her sister? Coming down the line. Let's see how she's doing. She's going to give us... Yep, this is the cement pond. She's going to bring in another 640k, taking us back up to 400. We just... Are we playing a train game today? If we are, we're going to have to speed things up a little bit. And we're going to have to cut down on the jazz just a little bit. Let's turn that jazz down a little bit. There we go. Alright, let's see what we get here. And see how we're doing up here in the factory. 51. We've got, I think we have 10. Do we have 10 or 20 trucks on this line? We'll find out in a second. We have a lot of vehicles on that line. Yep, 10 of them. They are each doing about what? So they're bringing in 8.9 and they're costing us 4.2. So they're bringing in 5.5, and we have a backlog of material. How much is this going into the city? And is it helping Brownsville develop at all? It is. It's having a huge boost on development. We're still not meeting demand, so we could add another couple on the line. Let's. We said we could move our time forward though. So clock is moving forward. Let's see where we get in our next stage of development. See how far we can go. 3, 4, 5. Give us 5 more. We were at 303 there for a second. Yeah, see, that's the trucks coming in. The trucks, they're just giving us this inkling of money constantly. And as long as we can keep that steady stream coming in, it will help us balance out the hiccups from the trains. All right, so this is Cement Pond. Cement Pond. On our way back. And how far up is Uncle Jed? Uncle Jed, other side of the depot. All the way through the dual track. Not yet. Pretty close. But Uncle Jed is making us some money. So let's set up a couple goals here. First off, are we getting all the stone out of the quarry? The quarry's running at 400. We're shipping 100 out of 4, and we are leaving on the table 140, which means we could either put on another train. That'll pull another 60, which means we could do 2 trains. We have enough infrastructure in place to support the trains. And of course, once it comes all the way out here, this cement factory is going to take anything we deliver to it. It doesn't care that we don't have a place for it to go on the other end. So in that regard, you know, we're fine. But is that the best we can do? Just slam this line more? Or how far away are we from an upgrade? We are quite a ways away from an upgrade. Just to see what we could do with this train today. Engines. No diesels, no electrics, steam. So the Russian would give, we have a Russian on the line, and we have a Baldwin. So we're getting 70 power versus 60. She's going a little faster, slower track. The attractive speed is the same within 1 kiloton. And the spot where the line is flat except for pulling out of the station with, conveniently, this, you know, we couldn't have planned it better. The line is crystal smooth all the way until we get to here. You know, the point where we're totally full. So then we have to struggle to get up this little incline up here. Once we do that, we pick up full speed and we head all the way out to the cement factory. The Brownsville cement factory. But we're going to need some more money. I hate to think, is that all we can do today? Is that another train? How much is another one of these trains going to cost us? Let's check. Let's go. Let's try Uncle Jed. 2 mil. Oof. That is going to require a little bit of time running at an even faster speed. Or we're just going to sit here as we struggle along piece by piece. Here's what I'm thinking. Do we start planning for another line? We've made 1 loan payment. Okay. Well, 2. There you go. Oh, wow. Forgot about the 2 of them. So we borrowed additional money to take us up to, what was it, 6.5 million? Ugh, the shame of that. So we got it back down to 5, and then we made 2 payments, so now we're down to 4 mil. So we still have quite a ways to go, but if we're making a half mil, we'd have to wait 4 years to buy the other train, or if we just wait 2 years and buy half the train to at least get some money coming in. Let's see. You know what? We're going to blow the rest of the year. We're going to blow the rest of the year. We're going to listen to a little bit of jazz. and we're going to see where this goes. Enjoy the music. What was that? Why don't we just borrow the extra $2 million? Oh, Jesus, that is, uh, that is just killing me. Let's tell you what. We'll borrow half the cost. Let's let's see. And there goes Uncle Jed. Let's. That kills me to say that we're borrowing, that we're going to borrow money. We're trying to be self-sufficient at all costs, and in a matter of time, we're going to be in a point where money is worthless. So to be sitting here with no money is giving us a bit of a challenge. But I'll tell you what. Let's let one more line go, and then we'll see. We need to figure out what is causing that. Why is she slowing down on this spot? Let's check the track overlays again. 120. 120. I don't know. Do we need... It's not switches. And this one's right at 22. Did we do something weird? And it's still telling us 120. I do not know what we did there to put in. Let's check the switches. Alright, so here's our switch. I mean, we could put another one here, but these things are going to get larger very quickly. And we want to make sure that we never block a junction. And I'll tell you what. We're already past the point. And we're loading. Cement Pond is loading. And they're struggling. Alright. Let's take the loan. We're at 6 mil. We'll take Uncle Jed. Well, that's a Russian. This is a Baldwin 6-figure. You know what? We're gonna... Let's go... Just to... She's gonna do 40 with 66. 70. You know, we're hoping for the 45. We're on the same line. We'll clone Uncle Jed. And we better do it quickly because we just ate into our money for that. Yeah, that stop in that train didn't work real well there, did it? No, no, it didn't. So we're gonna clone. We're gonna clone Uncle Jed. We need to give her a name. She is going to the cement factory. They just have to go. You know, if they were a passenger service, they could go anywhere. Does the line start at the cement factory? Does it? No, it starts out in the quarry. All right, we need a name for this train. I do. Let's see. Are we sticking with the Uncle Jed motif? I mean, if we are, we got Cement Pond, we got Uncle Jed. We I guess we'll call it Cousin Jethro. Cousin Jethro. There we go. Capital J. All right, Cousin Jethro. She's out waiting to get on the line. Where is she? She's at that single choke point. Do we have an easy way we could put her? No, we don't. I mean, if we threw her in reverse, she'd be driving backwards the whole way. She needs to make the loop. Otherwise, how do we have... Oh, the money was coming in from the runs that were just about to hit, and I was not paying attention. So that's how we overborrowed. But again, the beauty of borrowing is that you can pay it back right away. Now it's going to be interesting is to see how the spacing on this works out, because I think we're going to need a couple of extra switches. Aunt Betty. You know what? We got to do it now. That's apparently the internet rules. So, Aunt Betty. Aunt Betty. Is it Aunt Betty? Who is Aunt Betty? It's Cousin Jethro. It's you know, I could literally just scream upstairs, and the lady, the expert all things entertainment in the house would tell me. But it's Granny Clampett, Uncle Jed. Uncle Jed was never married, or he was married and the wife was divorced. I don't know. I actually don't know. I think Uncle Jed was not married during the show, and we've got um, yeah, we got Jethro and is it Mary Jo? What is that? What is the girl's name? Something. I'm pretty sure it starts with an M. It's not Mary Lou. Something. She's in Pigtails. Jed had sisters. Are we sure? Oh, wait, hold on. Are you talking about the episode where Jed had a sister that was the actor that played uh, Jethro, who dressed up in drag as the female character that was his either his cousin or his sister? Is that where you're coming up with that? If that's the one you're coming up with, boy, that is Beverly Hillbillies topic obscura. But the more thing I find interesting about Beverly Hillbillies is who owns them. They're currently owned by a musician, Rob Zombie, who has said many times. Oh no, wait, does he own Beverly Hillbillies? No, Rob Zombie owns the Munsters. Yeah, Rob Zombie owns the Munsters. Yeah, see, we're choking somebody right here. As soon as we get some cash, we gotta do some signal work here. Something to clean this up. We're gonna drop a spacing pair right here, just to clean that up. Sardor, thanks so much for joining us. I hope you're enjoying the music. Oh wait, let's turn those things off. Yeah, we don't need the whole world lighting up telling us that we're spending money. We know we're spending money. No need to remind us. We're gonna need 4 signals, 2 on each of the spurs here. Absolutely. Come on in anytime. Let me let me see where we're at here. Hey Sardor, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
How's your Rust server going?
Boring.
Boring. Well, when does PvP Mayhem start?
Not soon enough.
Well, I mean, isn't that the challenge of Rust when it's not PvP all the time anywhere? We've
It's,
just
I mean, there's a lot of things to do if you have a good PvE server, but Johnny's isn't set up for that, so there's nothing to do.
well, is his setup for the final PvP brouhaha, and you guys are just trying to build up the suspense until then, or is he just set
Well,
it up as a regular Rust server?
he just set it up as a regular rest server, basically.
So he was expecting that the excitement would be the PvP right now from day 2.
No, 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 no. PvE. He
PV.
set
Oh,
up as a
oh,
regular
he set it up as a
PvE.
regular PvE server.
Yeah, which has basically nothing to do.
Well, I mean, you do your base
He's got.
building and your hunting and exploring.
He threw in a zombie mod in there that it's not that good.
Well,
They keep spawning in the ground, or they're spawning zombies that don't work right.
how many mods are there for Rust?
Apparently, there is a crap load. Most
Wow.
of them are paid for mods. Because Face Punch allows modders to charge for mods.
Okay.
So, a number of mods on Rust are all, you know, so your free ones tend to be shitty ones, or shittier ones.
Well, that's the risk you take. I mean, I would imagine if somebody makes, somebody pays somebody $100 to make a mod, you know, they might make it available at some point for people for $20 for their effort.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that, you know, love to critique mods aggressively, but you don't ever see that they put their own work out there. It's walk a mile in their coding shoes.
Very true.
So we just spent the last almost 48 hours playing Dead Poly. It was on sale during this latest Steam summer creative builder horror sort of event that they had,
Hmm.
and it was on sale for $4.99. It's proved to be pretty entertaining.
Your stream seems to be stabilizing out.
Yeah, well, that's because I did great design in the beginning. The signal spacing and adding the. I got this hiccup here that just bleeds speed, and I don't have the money to do any major track work on it to fix it. Like this right here, um, this segment could be a little longer.
Oh, what I saw earlier, if you did a double track, if you where it splits right here, if you just did a side by side track all the way up to that spot right there, it comes out right, so it's not like you, where you're gonna have to split those off anyway. You would be almost at that point as it was, and that way they would always keep their full speed because they weren't trying to switch tracks or because I think your speed bleed issue was it was bleeding right before it switched to the track up.
Well, this is also the other part that I again, that's the beauty of a hard mode start is you know like I mean even the run from New Orleans just to deliver to the food to the town and then out to one city for crops to food
Hmm.
burned up a little over 1.2 million of the initial half million loan. So it's you have to be really careful down here. This is what's bleeding off some speed. This guy pulling out of the station. I mean, 8 isn't acceptable. 8 is. He does 7. It's just. This is not acceptable. But, you know, I built this entire stretch of track from the quarry all the way down to the cement factory down there for a half a mil. So, I mean, that was a very cheap construction run. Um, I just didn't. I never came down to the track at this point to realize I was building right on the slope side of a hill.
Yeah.
But yeah, 178. That should be enough money. Let's see. We would need to run a piece of track along here. Regular track. Let's see. So that chunk would be 27. 151. Yeah, we can do it. I did not think I was close enough. Plus, I'm very loan averse. You know. Now, we can
So I
get
just thought that would also help you because not only are you're barely adding any extra track than you would doing a junction just a little farther down, but it would allow them to have like you know the most speed possible since they're not having anything block them on their way.
Yeah, those are all very valid points. It's all right. Plus we all right. I wonder if there's any benefit down at the other end. I have the no reversing mod going, so that I'm doing the loops at all the stations. Oh, and we're already back in the negative, so I'll catch it the next cycle.
Negative what?
I'm already negative cash flow or negative money in the bank, so I can't afford any more track right now. I gotta wait for another couple trains to come in. It's currently 1856. We're just plowing through here. What I'm hoping will be the changing point. Well, I know it will be. It's not even a matter of hoping. The next upgrade of trains that comes in is because all the tracks already here, the stations are here. It's going to turn every one of these into a 30+% increase in profitability with zero infrastructure change. So it's do you play in 1850 or do you skip over it?
I don't play this.
Oh, you don't.
No, I've just watched you play it.
Oh, I'm an excellent teacher. See, like this line right here is pulling in, you know, just under 9,000, and its expenses are 4. So you're making almost 5K on this.
Yeah.
The more wagons you can throw on this line, after 4 years, it's all 5K profit, just
Yep.
repeatedly. And there's 58 stacks of bricks out here waiting to be picked up for 14. I could put another 10 more wagons on here easy. It's just, you know, how many how many wagons you want to slam on this line here? Like right now, you know, they need to load and unload. You don't want to have a whole backlog of vehicles sitting there. It looks goofy. That's the fun thing about this game that I found out. The last two maps that I had posted the screenshots on Reddit. I had people ask questions that were like this right here. We're bringing bricks or stone back here to the Conmat's factory to make construction material bricks.
Hmm.
And they were asking like, well, where are you shipping these bricks when you're done? It's like, I don't have to ship them anywhere. I'm bringing in the stone. The factory's going to buy all the stone I ship them. You know, this game is not about the factory. It's about what you transport. And it's funny that there's people that forget that. Oh, there we go. First upgrade. Uh, Not sure that's going to help us. But 55. What's the traction change on that? So 60 power, 26. Oh, that is a double in power. So, I mean, we could easily pack a few more cars on that. And we are going up a little bit in traction to get over that one hill, which is the only place we really need any of that traction power. And it's a cheap upgrade at only a half a mil. One of the things I want to make sure that I do is not make every single train the same engine, because that gets a little boring. Alright, we'll sell that back. That brings back almost nothing. But hey, every little bit counts. So I guess at this point, we're already borrowing money. Let's just borrow more. We'll take the... because the American upgrade should be coming right around the corner for the Russians. Is this a Russian? Nope, that's the bald one. This is the Russian. We should get more back on the upgrade of this train. Oh yeah, 177. So about a third of it. I mean, we bought it for 219. We got back 177.
That's not bad
No, it's not.
when you compare how much you made from it.
Oh yeah. You can already see we've picked up quite a bit of speed on it. Yeah, we went from 40 to 50 in a heartbeat. Just flipped over. So we'll finish up this strat. Oh yeah, we got money to do it right now. We are standard track. So how's everything else going this season for you?
Oh, fine.
Well, that's good. Yeah, we this Dead Poly game is I mean, it's definitely, you know, how do you say a zombie game is a 7 Days to Die competitor? Because, you know, there's a whole bunch of zombie games out there. You know. But one of the things that the author of this game did was they went out and got a packet of artwork from the Unity store, and because they're not a designer, you know, they went out and got somebody else's artwork, and that's what they're using in their game. And there are people who posted reviews complaining, saying that all this artwork came from the Unity store, therefore the game sucks. And it's like, what? How does that? How do those two things come together? You know, let's see. I'll leave the 70 here for now because we're not going to get anywhere near that. But we are we'll fix this since we're here, because if I don't fix it now, I'll never fix it later. We are, with this piece, we'll be double track all the way through. And then, all right. Yeah, she's coming right back up to speed. We can start adding more cars onto these as this extra money comes in. After we pay back some of the note. Like this piece right here. You know, I don't expect every video game developer to also be, you know, a creative artist. I added to the soundtrack on this all the Transport Fever 1 music. So now I'm sitting here listening to music that, for the most part, you know, you haven't heard or paid attention to for like 3 or 4 years. And it's if you're not careful, it's very hypnotic. You know, especially at 2 in the morning.
Looks like that was gaining speed the whole way up.
Yeah. She's only going to make it to 50 because that's the speed limit of the wagons. But we can dump another. Oh, there's the general. So we can upgrade the American train also. As soon as an extra piece of cash comes in. And then what I'll do from here is every time there's a payday comes in from a delivery, throw another 1 or 2 wagons on the trains until you push them to their carry capacity. And then, like right now, there's 3 trains on this line. As soon as you're hauling enough that you're pulling everything out of this quarry, you drop a train off and throw its wagons on the other one. Okay, so we can upgrade the American one, which is right here, the Baldwin 6. We'll get rid of, the Baldwin 6, 70 power, 130. And then as soon as we get 200 grand, we'll start putting in some new cars. Yeah, we're leaving 109 here. By the time the next guy comes around, we should be back around 160. And that'll kind of tell us how much we can. Because you don't want a train with an empty wagon showing up to a station. Or leaving a station, rather.
Yep.
So I made this map from scratch. I've done this in several games, and it's amazing how easy it is for me to show off my crappy artistic skills by making a map from scratch. It's just, you go out and you get like the technical stuff I know. You go out and you get the topographical data, you put it through an editor, and you start making changes to it, and then you actually hit the button and you go, make me my map, voila. And then the thing pulls up and you go, I'm making a map based upon the Mississippi River in the United States. Where's the river? Oh, it's a little thin line, 1 pixel wide. Because it's... Alright, so we can definitely start putting more cars on. I would say...
That didn't even put a dent in it, did it?
Well, it brought it back. Yeah, that's the problem. So... I'm watching for what the change is. We've got we're getting 200 out, so we still have more stone that this quarry is going to hand us. If we see, like right now, we're maxed on the platform. The
Yep.
way to get more space is make the platform bigger and start putting the warehouse buildings on here. And this thing could have 4, 5, 600 pieces of stone waiting for it, depending upon how big. You know, by the time the 1930s roll around, we could probably do this with just one train, pulling 340 stone per run.
You gotta have storage for that, don't you?
Yeah, so it's and that's part of the challenge of the game is, you know, like when do you stop the clock? Like we just had our upgrade, so yeah. See, we're at about 119 is what we're leaving here with. So the next train that comes in, we got enough money. We'll put a car or two on it. Let it pull out another.
That'll be the general, won't it?
You know, that's a good guess. Let's see who's coming around the corner. Cement Pond is the general just left. So no, it's going to be one of the Russians. So Aunt Betty gets, look at that, 877. We can give her 4 more cars. So we'll add in a couple of gondolas. Which one is she using? She's using these? Yes, she is. 1, 2, 3. We can fit 4. Look at that. The bank is willing to take our money. Or not the bank, but the train store. Very nice of them. Alright, so now we're at 160. That's maxed for this station. And we've pulled out 91. See, we're a little bit of a dent there. So now we got to see how high up we get. Like the next train might just get 2 cars. But once she delivers, this will kick up a notch too. And we'll have more sitting over here. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but it is spitting out just a little bit faster for how much stone is sitting on the platform.
Yep.
And we'll have another Russian coming around the hill, so that's... Yep, that's Uncle Jed. So we will put... We got enough for 1 car. Come on, let's see if we can get a little more money. We're going to make it? No, we're not. We're going to have to borrow money. We are just going into debt like bandits here. So Uncle Jed will get... Same gondolas? Yes. 2, 3. So now we'll watch what... Alright, so now we're at 48. Betty out there is about to make her delivery. Let's see, the last time she pulled in 722. So now we'll watch what she brings us this time. All of this loop around the factory is just wasted time and the money to do this loop. But the alternative is the trains hit the station and they do a magic flip on themselves. And this stops the magic flip. It's one of those things that's just purely... Look at that. So we did bring in 722, now we're bringing in 1 million. So just 280,000 more compared to the 722. So about 35%. And look, the platform is still going. We're not running any empty trains, any empty wagons. And our speed here, she can handle a few more cars, or She can handle a few more wagons. Yeah, see, that's why I'm not a fan of flat everywhere, because that little hip that she has to cross there, that's character. All right.
Also made a little bit of a difference on how you had to play it.
Yeah, and the more you start making, because you got a big map. If you, I mean, you don't want everything to look the same. It's got to look interesting, dynamic, fun. You don't want cookie cutter everywhere. 923. Were we gonna buy something? Oh yeah, we're gonna throw a couple more trains in there. Let's see who's this.
When you left the platform last time, it looked like it took almost everything with it.
Well, the beauty of the platform change is that three. We'll see how Uncle Jed does with this. Slow the speed down. Because we'll get a loading speed penalty for how much is stuck not on the platform. Yeah, 76% loading speed. Yep, we have hit our limit. This line is maxed. We're having to wait, which means that next train coming in is going to be waiting even longer.
So you were like maybe one or two cars.
Over. Or move these wagons onto the Russians, which can pull them, and get rid of the third train. I mean, it's just this is a perfect example of how easy it is if you're not watching each line as it's going to go broke. Because you're sitting here going, woohoo, making $1 million, woohoo, pile on more wagons, and then the trains aren't running because they're, or they're running empty and not bringing you any money. Let's kick that speed back up a notch. We'll see what the next one does, and that'll kind of tell us. It's getting close. I mean, this next one should pull 91. Yeah, 91. Uh, what? that was that was not supposed to happen.
What?
She she pulled into the station, grabbed what was there, and left. She's supposed to wait until she's
No,
full.
if you look at the back, there was a little bit left.
Was it holy cow?
But I think the one that just came by was the small train. That was your smallest one.
Oh, yeah, 60. Yep. Good eye on that, yeah.
So I think these other two would have eaten it up, but we'll see.
Yeah, she's waiting. Not that long, but she is waiting. So now the question is balance out the line, keeping the three trains going, or get rid of the small one and just put its wagons on the other two.
I say split the small one. It's more profitable.
Yeah, because it's another train not running.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people that just you can see them when they're playing this game that don't get that.
less fuel use.
Well, like they forget that this isn't a train game. You know, it's a
It's not how
transportation.
many. It's not how many you have. It's how efficient are the ones you have.
Yeah, and the game gives you a very easy window right here to check profitability on all your lines. Like this line's down $2,000. That's nothing. And there's 24, 23 vehicles. So there you go. They're profitable again. You just have to look at profitability on the balance and see what cargo is still on the move. And it's a very easy sort of, calculation to do. All right, let's get rid of cement pond there. So this is, yeah, that's the general. So we're gonna, and do we send the general to the depot? Do we have somewhere nearby to send bricks? Yeah,
General. I thought the general was your new one.
well, that's the two Russians got upgraded, and then the general came out a year later. So but between them, the general is the. Here we can just double check. So the general is 130 power. The Russians 140, and they're faster. They're going to get up to 50, whereas this is going to get up to 45. So
Oh, okay.
it's going to be able to pull a little bit more car weight, and it's going to do it on that flat track a lot faster because there is a huge length of flat track to travel. If the line was, a lot more broken up or didn't have those long stretches in it, then the general would probably be a better bet. That's the other part of it. There is no one train that's profitable everywhere. It's easier with trucks because trucks are just load them up, go as fast as you can. Planes and ships are just as finicky. You could have a plane that on one line is just printing money and put it on a different line or make some small change and all of a sudden it's just a total gonna ruin you. But if we get rid of I'm just wondering if we could take the general and instead of having it run here, we could have it run brick over to Fayetteville or somewhere further. The problem with further is I don't want it to deadhead. If we come to Huntsville with bricks, how far is it? Far enough? Oh yeah, that's plenty far. So we could put a station in over here in Huntsville to deliver the bricks and have the general run it since we already have it rather than sell it at a loss. We just have to change the cars and we have to make a change over here on this station. So we're going to bring in a. Go ahead, sorry.
Make a passenger station.
No, we got to put in a second a second cargo platform because she's going to wind up just sitting here until she has bricks to haul. So if we don't give her a place to park, she'll block the other platform. So we can have her sit over here. allowing for how big these trains are going to get in a few very quick years. So she comes in off here. Alright, now she's got to get out that way, around this hill, and off to Huntsville. So let's put the station in. Let's put it in back here. Cargo station. If we put it there, we're still going to need a truck route. If we put it here, we can still bring a couple tracks in later, but that'll let us deliver the bricks without needing. And they're called construction materials, but I mean, let's face it, they're bricks. Okay. So now we got to get from here out that way. And all right, let's see. That's one thing in this game where you could really go bankrupt. Let the game build your track for you in the most direct route. You know, what you could build for 50,000 could be the game will spend 2-3 million on if you let it.
Cutting it through the side of a mountain.
Yeah, like it was just gonna do there. That piece I put down for 100K, the game wanted 900,000 for. All right, so we pull out of the station. How are we gonna swing around over to here? I mean, we can cross over. Let's get across here. And that is cheap and ugly. And again, ugly. It's just, that is not pretty. But when we get more money, this whole station's going to get torn apart in a couple years anyway. Oh, that's even worse. Who laid this track? This. That is just. All right. Let's connect up. All right, so we cross over. We got connected to here. That looks pretty good. All right, so we got track coming out. And then at some point, this line has to hook up over to here. So she gets a signal. Signal over here. This does not need to be a double slip switch. We've got a signal to get out of here. We need a signal for clearance. Once she passes through here, the other track can go. There's only going to be one train on this anyway, but now here's the problem. We're out here. We're going to, oh, we're going to have to go all the way around the lake. Because, yeah, see, that's going to...
You didn't notice that when you put it down?
No, I did not. I did
Yeah,
not. I, I did not in any way even remotely think that we were going to have to just take a lakefront tour here. Okay, we'll bring this back. There we go. Wow, that is... All right. Give it a horn stop when she comes around the corner. Okay, so now we're going to need a train line that goes from here up to Huntsville. And we're going to call this construction materials, pulling out of Brownsville. Huntsville, H-U-N, out. There we go. If you don't come up with a good naming standard right away, you can't come back later and complain that you did a shitty job and try and change it later. You know, you have to... Because, you know, getting rid of that space I just got rid of is vast impact on train performance. Okay, so let's see where that line is. Yep, it's where we want it, over here on track 2. So now she'll sit here until she's full. We'll let her sit for like 5 minutes. Then she'll go to Huntsville, deliver, and come back. Oh, look at that. Still a $500,000 left. We're going to need to buy cars because we're going to have to do this. Here's the stone in line. So we're going to move the cars. This is the general, the Brownsville Cement. We're going to move her cars 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now she has all the cars are switched over. Alright, so now we move Cement Pond over to the new line. And then we got to put a different car on her because now she's hauling bricks, which needs a flat car. So this holds 7, 4, and 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll let her take. Oh, can't afford. Well, you know, I was thinking 42, but 42 might be too much. 35 sounds about right. I'm not sure why, but it definitely sounds right. So she's.
Hit a button too many times?
Well, I ran out of money, so that was. There was a lot of thought that went into it. Where is she gonna? She's. So, you know, because we want to time this in the best way possible. Now she's going to haul all the way down to the quarry and come back, because that's how every train that I've done so far on this playthrough has worked out. It goes to the exact opposite end of where. Oh, we got a passenger car. We could throw out our first passenger train. Tell you what, I'll stop the clock at 1865. We can start doing a little work over the next couple of episodes. See what. It's real easy. Having done this on the last 2 playthroughs, it's real easy to focus on all freight or all passenger and ignore the other one. And it just, Um, oh, now we get to see what's left here after that large pull out of the train. Look at that, 13 going over that hump. And she's carrying 137. Well, she didn't wait. I gotta check that line. Manage the line. She gets to the quarry. Oh, because she's only waiting 3 minutes. We'll change it to 5. Now we'll make sure that they leave here full. That train's already up to 50 and hauling. It's going to be a nice payday coming in. Yeah, it's amazing the difference that just, one upgraded train could make on a line. Sitting here going, please don't let me go bankrupt. Let's add a new line. So, I was just wondering if we had put the split back here, and yes, we did. I was afraid we couldn't get over to track 2 for a second. But they'll branch off right there. And there's already cargo waiting to be hauled. That was a nice fat paycheck. So how much is sitting here? Yeah, we're gonna push a few more cars on there. I'll take it out to
messing with me watching this, and what you're describing on what I'm seeing are two different things because I'm on a
the delay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a well, and you can really just go bankrupt in a heartbeat by goofing around with stuff on here.
Oh yeah.
Because you're sitting here and it's like money just comes rolling in, and it's like woohoo, let's go, give me more of this, give me more of that, and okay, this is something I've done for the last 3 years now. It's every new vehicle that I get, every new line. Obviously, if I buy 20 trucks, I don't follow them, but I've always taken its first voyage with it because you never know where it's going to end up.
If there's a hiccup on the line.
Yeah, or how cool it looks from ground level with the stuff that you built. It's and that's part of the fun of the game. I mean, why have a game with graphics if you can't stop for a minute to
enjoy what it looks like?
Yeah.
I understand that one, which is part of the reason why I don't like I don't like Minecraft. Is your train full yet?
69 out of 70. Her 5 minutes is up and out the door she went. So we might have to move her to like an 8 or 9 minute timer. The problem with construction materials is you want the trains that are leaving to sit there in the station as long as necessary, because you need the stone to come in, so you're waiting for the stone. That's the priority. And as long as you build the stations big enough, you come by and you look at it, and all of a sudden, wham! There's like 6-8 trains. Well, 7 sitting on an 8-track station, waiting for that construction train to come in. All of a sudden, it comes in, and then boom, all kinds of activity. Oh, here it comes. view of Huntsville and its lake.
See, I just hit the split. Well, for some reason, I thought it was going to come around the lake the other direction.
Oh, you mean go directly into the station?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then loop around the lake.
Well, yeah. Then there would have been a cross as it left the. It would have crossed over its track. See, this way there's no. There's no crossing on the track. Now, just as a comparison, Hall and Stone, she made 688, 731 on the brick. So now the question's going to be just how much brick is sitting there. Because there could be too many boxcars on, or too many wagons on here. Alright, so she's just over half full. That was waiting for her. What's going on at the factory? The factory has plenty of room to upgrade. We just don't have enough demand and we haven't pushed in enough material. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's moving too fast. 20 cars. Let's see if she leaves here full. I mean, you could have a train sit in a station, you know, infinite. Then the problem you run into is you're messing with the game's mechanics because the factory spits out the product that expects you to haul it. You know, you're not doing yourself a favor by, if you sit here in the station, you're doing yourself some benefits in terms of running costs. But you know, the game doesn't charge you for fuel as a separate item. You just pay for maintenance. $67 out of 70. So she's not running full, but she is pretty close to it. So we'll just have to see how that develops. But we do have only 2 trains on this line now. Here comes one.
But now that you have construction materials on the line, does that mean that the AI can build slightly better stuff?
Well, what's going to happen is if you go over to Huntsville, she's now growing by 30%. Well, she's getting a 30% boost to her maximum. Her target population can now go from 138 up to 193 because she's getting a boost from these construction materials. So everything that you do to a city increases the maximum that it can grow to in size. So yeah, it is helping Huntsville to grow.
Which will make the plant that it's getting its materials from grow.
Well, yeah, because it has a you can look at the plants and it will tell you who are its consumers, and how it's trying to allocate out goods to all of its consumers. So as an example, all the bricks that it shipped out to Huntsville got transported. There's bricks waiting to go into Brownsville that are just sitting on the dock because we're not transporting fast enough.
Yeah.
But the problem there is, again, how much of a gap is there before another wagon shows up? You know, the, like, why did the horse have to stop there? Just, obviously there's a bit of time here. We can throw another 5 vehicles on this line. Just to, pick things up a little bit.
And do things like the stone quarries also grow with production?
So they grow with the hauling of their materials, because you can only take the material, like you can't, you have to send it somewhere,
Yeah.
and it's expecting it to go to.
I'm saying if you're picking the materials up faster, they'll produce faster?
Yes, so this thing will, like right now, it's got plenty of capacity of stuff to spit out, and the platform's holding 11. So that means this train showed up, and there was still stuff sitting on the platform. It insta filled itself,
Yeah.
which is really good. So pure luck here. We just happened to hit the mark, and we got rid of one train. And it's, instead of pulling over that hump at 7, it's pulling over here in 14. So the train upgrade was a benefit. It's just been a win overall.
And then being able to use a third train instead of losing it.
Yeah, that's you don't want to throw the stuff back into the depot and sell it because you're taking a loss on it. I mean, you're going to need it somewhere else. So, why take a hit on it? The weird thing about this game is, I mean, that's why you have the book next to you with the big giant, large print pen so that you can write out the numbers and do the math on the lines. This is the sort of game where, if you like doing, side math and spreadsheets, you can eke out a few extra points of profit as you're playing along. However, if you're doing well with this game, very quickly you have so much money you can't burn it fast enough. And then, it's up to you not to play silly. Because it's one thing if you're sitting here and you go, well, segment A and B are a loss, but segment C is a huge windfall. That's very different than, all my passenger lines lose money, but they look cool.
Yeah.
Like, you're not the federal government and Amtrak. Slow down, pal. You got to make some profit sooner. Don't just make profit off of oil, as an example. Yeah, 1.5. What is this thing going to bring in? Almost, yeah, just, wow. Yeah, just a huge, what a difference.
Is that the 2 stone cars?
Yeah, this is all of them slammed. It's the three different styles of cars, all slammed on the same train. But let's see. It can pull 137, and we have 99. It's it'll be close. She's gonna have to wait a little bit. Loading speed half. So yeah, like even that as an example, there's no reason to extend the platform because even at half loading speed, we're still sitting here for a few minutes, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with a train sitting at a train station. You know, this train is not going to pull up here to the Brownsville quarry and go, "Hey Mac, 137 tons worth of rock." It's going to take a few minutes between shunting and all the other fun things that occur, um, and again, your game your way. There's people who play this as just as a train game because it is a really good train game, independent of the whole financial profit aspects of. I was so.
Because you could basically just, instead of doing trucks and boats and planes, you could just have everything running via train.
Yes, and there actually is a Steam achievement for playing the game with trains only up until a certain year. I don't remember what year it is, but like let's say it's 2010 or something. If you do everything with trains, and like you see over there in where did we deliver to? Fayetteville or Huntsville? No, Huntsville. So where we delivered to in Huntsville. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I can't even count those. Those are too small. But where you position that station, the station coverage.
20 cars,
Oh, it was 20.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's part of the thing with if you've ever sat at a especially as a kid at a railroad crossing, you know, that's a dad game thing. Come on, kids, let's count the train. You know.
Yeah, it was a small. Those small cars were really hard to distinguish.
We might have the loan paid off and be debt free and just. We're pretty close to it after this delivery. Which is. Alright, so there's a $750,000 run. 1.6. If we go find the other one. There it is coming around the lake. Big money. 741,000. So another trip or two around the lake here, and I wanted to stop the clock at 65 or at 66. I'll let it go to January, and then because if you let the clock keep going, the one beautiful thing. I love that they did this with Transport Fever 2. This game's been out for 3 years already. But they made it so that the calendar clock can be stopped compared to the game clock. So that you don't have yourself watching that window pop up and say, hey, new train, new plane, new train, new plane. Hey, that new plane you just bought? It's out of date. Here's a new one. You at least get, a chance to live in the era for a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow, that is quite a dip there in that track. I did not. There's just character all over the place here. But yeah, it's I wonder how many of those, how much of a load is waiting for us by the time we get over there. Holy cow, look at that. Instant load and go. Left stuff on the platform. That's just great. And look, the factory upgraded. We missed the upgrade, but you can see it with the visual on the plant. You know, it gets bigger and you get 2 extra stacks. As it gets bigger again, you'll have even more smokestacks. You know, you see the visual representation as it gets bigger. It doesn't affect what you're doing with the transportation, but it does, again, it makes it looks interesting. Otherwise, you know, otherwise you're playing open TTD with a whole text-based ASCII character level graphics from the 80s. Could be a great game. Alright, so we are 3 million in debt. Get that paid off. And then got to start looking for the next place to expand. And either we stick with Conmats or we go back down to New Orleans. You know, it might be nice to... So New Orleans started out with 1,050 people in it. And because it didn't have any transportation or goods coming to it, it just immediately collapsed on itself. All 3 of the largest cities did that. It was quite surprising. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. So it might be worth it to run a passenger line service from New Orleans, Gulfport, Mississippi City. I don't know if we'd go from Pascagoula to Pensacola and Tallahassee. That's quite a lot of track, but it could prove to be quite helpful for all these communities. How many people in here? Yeah, see, we don't know how many people want to go to the cities because they don't have... when the map was built, I turned off all the game roads between the cities so that they didn't develop on their own without us having to do the work. And I don't know, that's an option. Gulf Coast train service or Gulf Coast passenger service line. You know, just to connect up this whole collection of bedrooms of small towns. It'll help the whole coast develop. Plus that's a whole bunch of cities to connect. And it might totally bankrupt us. So like, you know, because even if all the money from the stone delivery, even if all that money pays for the track and the stations, let's see, let's just price out a passenger train. So passenger train, let's see, we'll use let's just use the general for now. We want to go faster. So the Russian GV, and how many passenger cars can we pull with this thing? These are 8 passengers, but they weigh 7. This weighs 20 for 14. And This is 20 for 13 and doesn't go as fast. These are 40s. So we'd put a 50. So let's just say we get passenger service for, let's say 60 people. So we're at 70 is mediocre. Yeah, we're going to be mediocre with this thing the whole time. So let's call it 2.7. These things run, so let's say 70, and that's 5 cars. So it's going to cost us $350,000 in annual maintenance, plus the steam engine, 140. So we're going to spend $460,000 just on the engines each year in maintenance costs, plus the track maintenance, well, the track and the stations, the station maintenance cost for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stations, even just 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 stations, the track, and then of course the moment that it gets even remotely successful, we're going to want to expand all the tracks to stations to 4 tracks and double head the whole line, because you know that's what insane people do. So, like, I know what's going to happen, but there's quite a bit of potential here, and it's passenger service, which we don't have yet, and I want to balance things out. I mean, I could run wagons for, you know, a taxi service, but, you know, and every town's got to have intercity taxi service sooner or later. So I'm in no rush to start that, because let's see, we've only got 78 cities, and let's say the taxi service in each city takes 15, 20, 30 minutes to set up. So that's what, 35 hours of torture. You know, I'm in all the rush to do that. Oh, look, we're back here at the platform. We have 212. Look at that, we're up to 300. So we are spitting out
the core got bigger.
Oh yeah.
It got deeper is what it got.
Cool. Well, we've left almost a full train here on the platformer again. We could put a couple more cars on these two. They're obviously, I mean, we're going to be at 50 way before the depot.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the money. Tell you what, we'll slow down. Do the work, do it this way. Let's put 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Here she comes.
Give me a minute, I gotta figure some shit out real quick here.
Well, we're gonna watch her come around the bend here. Alright, so now we've got capacity for 140. And there's 197 on the platform. How fast do we make it over the hump here? 14, 15, back to 14. A little bit. That is not bad at all. We could add 3 more. let's just throw more trains at this thing. The engine hasn't fallen apart or burst in flames yet. Let's throw a few more on there. And we're at full speed. So yeah, this is... We could almost clean up the loop up here at the cement factory for... What a hodgepodge these things are. Just an amalgamation. And we lost one. Oh yeah, we're not losing really anything coming around this. Big money. No debt. Okay, here's our upgrades for 1870. We're going to stop the clock. All right. Let's start finding all our alternatives. So, again, Gulf Coast Line, passenger service, option 1. It's going to cost us at least 2 mil for trains if we don't buy 4 mil, plus the stations. Let's just, you know, we're going to have to upgrade them. Let's just go for passenger double track from the beginning. We'll do, so let's call them 300 each, so that's another 1.5. So that's 5.5 mil plus the track and the signals. Ugh. And then the cost of the buildings we're going to demolish. This could be a $10 million project. Easily. And it might make no money back for us. Hopefully not, but still. And we've got to do a good grand station here in New Orleans. Or find somewhere else for passenger service. We haven't gone, you know, we're going to have to do that one day. Do freight and then passenger west of the Mississippi. But let's stay east. You know, what about the Chicago line? We could do Gary to Chicago through Lake Geneva, either service or skip Johnsonville for now, and then we go up to Milwaukee. I mean, we don't have to go all the way up to Green Bay initially, but even if we just do the North Shore line here, and we go Chicago to through Lake Geneva to Milwaukee. How big is Milwaukee right now? Let's give her 135. I thought I fixed those. Let's check the list. Beaumont. Let's just give her yeah. Oh, there's another one too. Minneapolis. Alright, let's give Minneapolis goods and fuel. Obviously, they're getting fuel in Minneapolis. Alright, Springfield. Springfield where? Springfield, Illinois. Alright, so Springfield is going to need fuel, and let's give it tools. Alright, back to the list. Why did Springfield only show up with one?
I'm gonna say, didn't you say you're gonna put Springfield with fuel and tools?
Yeah, I just did. I clicked it and then moved away too fast. And all right, St. Louis. St. Louis is gonna get goods and parts. All right, there's a couple cities that the demands didn't get set properly so I'm just cleaning them up. Eventually, they're all going to get 6 as they grow, which is just going to add to the nightmare of the freight service. But if we do passenger service east of the Mississippi, yeah, all the cities on this map are directionally correct to at least one, if not the other cities around. So that, Milwaukee is north of Chicago. And both of them are on the east side of the Mississippi compared to St. Louis. But again, it's a game, so there's a bit of, creative license that has to occur to fit stuff on the map and, make it look interesting on a broader scale. And again, because I wanted to have the river big enough that it became, it's a major shipping channel, and we don't want to forget that. So I guess that's my two choices: the Gulf Coast line or a Chicago North Shore line. And or we could do like something across the middle here. Memphis to Birmingham. We could connect the capitals. We could do Tallahassee to Baton Rouge to well, yeah. See, if we're going up the river,
I don't see Austin.
yeah. Well, part of this was when I started this, because I started with 1850, I went and got the 1850 and 1860 census to make sure that the numbers on the cities were proportional to each other. Again, you got to take creative liberty, but when the list was sorted by population, it matched the census where they were, at the time.
Yeah.
Like, I did not know that Cincinnati was that big in 1850, 1860.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
It's a major industrial hub.
Yeah, I didn't think it was before the start of the Civil War. Just didn't think of it as a. Ohio is a big manufacturing state. There's manufacturing all over the state, but
Yeah.
it just didn't. It didn't occur to me. And this is another one that just died because of the lack of goods and resources. But, we could do Cincinnati, Chicago. We'd have to cross the river to get to Milwaukee or to Minneapolis.
Now, your cities that shrink while you're getting to them,
Yes.
do they totally die off, or is there like just a little hub left that you have to basically rebuild?
So let's go to Cincinnati as an example because we were just looking at it. So here's Cincinnati, bridge across the river.
I'm out on the porch while you're describing.
No, that's all right. So in Cincinnati, there is a block of buildings where I cleared them out to put down a university, and another block of houses that I cleared out to put down a school.
Hmm.
And that's what, because I had to delete some of the houses to get the numbers down to match the rankings of Cincinnati to Chicago, St. Louis, and Minneapolis.
Hmm.
When and now, because there's no goods coming into the cities and there's no public transportation or private transportation options, the city's collapsing. Those blocks where I put in, like that university, there's no buildings around there at all. But the city itself still has its initial seed size, and it's the seed size that the game uses to tell you how big a city can get. There are some people that complain about it because they think that, if you start a map in a random map, and let's say you have a whole bunch of towns that have 100 people in them, if you give them a whole bunch of goods, they want them to grow to become, New York City, and they won't in this game, because if the city's 100 population to start, and as you give it all the goods and transportation options, and the city's numbers say, okay, I'll grow by 300%, it's not going to grow to a population of 10,000. It's only going to grow to a population of 300% of 100.
Which
You
is
know,
300.
well, 400 because it's the 100
400.
initial. Yeah,
Because you're growing, yeah.
yeah. But I mean, but the point is that seed, if the city crashes, is still the same seed value. And then as you grow or expand, it rises up and down. So that's
Hmm.
why when I started the map, I had to also make sure that the seed values on these four capital cities were big enough that they'll grow to be a major hub on the map. But with 78 cities, if every one of them grows to 1,000, you got a population of 78,000 on the map. That's a brutally large number of people to handle. Because if you don't provide public transportation, they are all just going to get in their cars and drive everywhere on the map they feel like it. And then you're dealing with highway congestion, traffic jams, and the other thing is every car, from a technical perspective, all these things on the map, you know, they're they're um they're widgets. The game's got to process them,
Yeah.
and so it's
They are pixels in movement.
yeah, yeah, it's the map that crashed at 60,000. The one that got to 72,000, I knew what caused the crash, and I was able to adjust it. I got to 72,000, and I mean, I just the mind-numbing amount of work that was involved just reached a point where I was like, "Are there any new games for sale?" Because it was just, it's what nth degree do you want to play it to, and then performance just starts to become an issue. You're looking on the map and you're at 60 frames per second, and then all of a sudden you're at 40. And then next thing you know, you're looking at a crowded, busy town and you're at 12. And you go to place a road, or that town starts building and you want to expand it a little bit, and you've got to disable autosave and shut off the music and turn the frame rate, turn the graphics down to ultra low. I mean, it's what you got to do to keep the game moving. But it also reaches a point where you have unlimited funds. You're making profit all over the place. And is it really another challenge coming up? So I think it's to get any long-term fun out of the game, you really have to manage. Well, I mean, it's the same thing with any game. I mean, like let's pick Empyrion. You know, you want Empyrion to have a lot of fun and a challenge. Don't pull your Blueprints factory out and use the same ship you played for the last 2 years. You know, And there are people that will do that and complain that the game is getting boring. You know, we have a guy on here on Discord who's done it on Astroneer. He he always likes to jump off and go to a certain planet to build a base. I was like, well, first off, your game, your way, man. Do whatever you want. But we had a group play where we were running on a server, and instead of helping the new people out, he just immediately packed up, a spaceship full of stuff and took off. And the answer was, hey, why are you doing the same thing? There's other people here that would benefit from your expertise. Why didn't you take them with you? You know, it's it's easy to get into a rut in these games
Yep.
because when you're doing it, you don't call it a rut. I have a tried and true formula that makes it successful for me.
Mm-hmm.
Soviet Republic is the exact same way. Oil. Well, no, all goods are the different. No, oil. Well, I don't know how to make money. Oil. You know, I don't know how to work trains. Use trucks. Oil. It's a guaranteed no lose start. Just oil. So what happens is,
Oh.
well, what happens is you just sit back and you go, okay, well here's a strategy. And Ryan came up with a really good one. His thing was, we have an oil embargo going on until after 1973. You cannot export any oil off your map. So for 20 years, or if you start all the way back in 1923, at the birth of the Soviet Union, you have a really long time where you are not exporting oil. So you better come up with something else to export. And the answer is, we're growing crops and we're making vodka. Export the vodka. You know, and then somebody asked the question of, well, how much vodka are you consuming internally? And you go, none. It causes all sorts of problems like alcoholism, disease, disgruntled people in our republic, but we're making it to export it. Hell yeah, that's money. It's just, but, second time you come around, you go, are you doing vodka again? No, I've done that. Let's try something different. Civilization. Sid Meier's games have, 6 different victory conditions. Civ 6 has dozens of different, countries that your nations you can start at with different leaders. Every time you play a different one. Go for a different strategy. Set a different victory condition.
Yep.
It's there's a really nice gentleman who plays a lot of the same games, and he did a thing where he described how to beat a game. And I don't want to ruin it, so I'm not going to say the game or the thing that he did. But he sat here and he was like, so you got bricks over here in the Brownsville cement factory, and you got to haul them over here to Huntsville. Okay, well, while you're hauling them to Huntsville, I need you to pick up moon pies and RC Cola. I was like, moon pies and RC Cola? Yeah, if you open up the requirements for the city, you'll see that Huntsville wants moon pies and Brownsville wants RC Cola. Oh, okay. I guess I can do that. Yeah, okay. Now let's go across the map and go look at any 2 other cities. Okay? Yeah, they want moon pie and RC Cola. You're like, what? Yeah, look on the list. Then you go, wait, look on the list. Yeah, there's moon pies and RC Cola. Every city wants those 2 goods. So just don't even bother shipping your bricks. Just ship moon pies and RC Cola. And then, if you're not careful, the game has become so stupidly simple that you log in and go, hey, what are you
What
playing?
game is that?
Yeah, it's moon pies and RC Cola. That's the name of the game, because that's all you wind up doing. The game is Railway Empire, but it's a great game. It is a great game, but there's just this, there's a thing in the demands window that if you're not careful, you could explain it in such a way that it becomes too simple. And then, like, you can't get your head out from under how simple it is. That is so weird to watch this train make a loop around a lake. for no purpose. It's like,
At least it doesn't have to figure eight around the lake.
no, and you know what? At least it's not pulling into the station and doing a magic flip on itself. You know, it's. And here's the funny thing: that train, because I'm sitting here watching it, just did this huge loop around the station. The track costs money. It costs. We're losing profits because the thing ain't making a delivery, fast enough. It's nothing but a losing thing to do, and yet we're still making money. You just pick your routes properly, and you don't overbuild, you don't over launch vehicles, and you make sure that every line is profitable. And then you can come down here and look at your train and go, hey, look, this train's not driving backwards. You know. But, and again, there's people who, I've seen people ask about it on the forums, is there a way to make it so the trains don't flip or whatever? It's like, yeah, just change your signals and put a loop. It's not complicated. Is it for everybody? No. Not everybody wants to, go to the trouble. They just want point to point, A to B. This music is way too catchy.
I'm gonna get going for a bit, man.
Well, I'm going to be logging out myself. I appreciate the company. Thank you so much. You have a good day. Take care, sir. All right. Let's see where we're going. We have bricks waiting for us. Yes, we do. A full load. So, we're going to add a couple more cars onto that train when she pulls up here to the station. Do, 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 do. We need flat cars with rail stakes. 1, 2, 3. Let's take her to 104. What do we got here? 166. So yeah, we're not even going to empty the station. Let's see how she does with this extra weight. And I don't know if you noticed, but we're pretty close to, if we haven't already hit 10 million. We are at 7.9. So I think next time we come back, we're going to do the Gulf Coast line, or we're going to do the North Shore line. We might do both. Let's see how it goes. I mean, obviously we're not going to do both in the same 30-minute period. There's quite a bit of work to do on both of them. And the hard part is, it's not just putting down the station. We've got to prepare it that these are going to be major stations for their areas. Obviously, New Orleans is going to have to be a major hub station down there. Same thing with Chicago. So, I mean, we might wind up doing an 8 or 10 track station just from the beginning, just for passenger service to prepare for it. Bite the bullet. How much is a 8-track 320? 2 mil. Alright, so it'll change our cost just a little bit. Sorry for the confusion of that build as we're flying there. Where's that horn? There we go. Alright. Huntsville is growing. 1.3 million. 1.1. But still. No debt. I say we'll just run clock a little bit, and then we'll get to work on We're at 2 hours. We'll shut down here in a few seconds. I appreciate everybody who's going to be watching this. All 2 of you. Tell you what, I'll leave you with some music for a few minutes just so we can... We're at 10 mil. That's enough for us to do the Gulf Coast and definitely the North Shore line. But assuming we're going to do that bigger station in New Orleans, that's going to be 2 mil plus the damage we're going to do to the city. It might become a 15 to 20 million prospect. And we don't want to get started on it and not have the money to finish it. I mean, we could always shutter, take out a loan again to give us an additional 10 mil. But do we fill up instantly? Yes, we do. How many bricks is Huntsville taking? Set 80 out of 108. Wow. And 281. Look at that. 90%. Alright, I say that's going to probably be the end of it. We have achieved our goal of bring me more stone. The stone trains are... Let's see what they're doing down here. $158. She left 145 in the step. And how much is this one going to pull out of here? 140. You know what? Let's bump that up a notch. Manage. Have we gotten cabooses yet? Because every train's got to have a caboose. Oh, there they are. I'll get those on here. Color are we doing in this era? Well, we're starting, so let's do the past. Let's do the bright colors. Okay, there's the 2 cabooses. Now 140. We've got 156 on the track. So we're going to drop in cargo, and we need gondolas, 50s. How much does this weigh? 10 tons, 10 tons. And that's going to be 7, so we want 1, 2, 14. Move the caboose back, modify, come on in. To fill. We filled. We left 19 on the track. Look at that. Alright, this will be our last run. We'll let this one go and see where we end up.